There is currently a tragedy occurring in America today: malnutrition. All of us in America have partaken of the mass production food industry at some point, whether by choice or by desperation. Most of us are unaware of the implications of partaking of such industries, yet for many in the lower income, the perceivable effects are all too common. Because of how intrusive mass production industries' practices are in our daily lives, we should equip ourselves with knowledge of how to avoid such targeting and take responsibility with our health. By implementing the changes I will propose shortly, it will become more apparent that we can take control of our health by avoiding the predatory marketing of fast food, recognizing how to balance our diets, and opting for healthier alternatives. It has been known that the lower income are targeted by mass production and fast food industries. Throughout history, obesity has been seen as a symbol of wealth and success. Ferris and Crowther, for the U.S. National Library of Medicine, notably remark, past civilizations saw excess body fat as a symbol of wealth and prosperity, as the general population struggled with food shortages and famine. Now, ever since the rise of the mass production food industry in the 80s, obesity has now become a symbol of the lower income. Mass production food is possible by replacing ingredients with cheaper substitutes that oftentimes have neutral or negative effects. While most mass production food companies strive to provide balanced products, one particular facet of the industry is notorious for cutting as many corners as possible: the fast food industry. The fast food industry operates by offering the most food possible for the cheapest price. This is simply how the business is run, and it is not likely to change permanently in anytime soon. Now, to be fair, some fast food restaurants have started offering healthier alternatives, such as Chick-fil-A's grilled chicken sandwiches or Taco Bell's Cantina Bowls. That being said, a huge attribute of fast food companies' success is the way they prey on the lower income. According to the Washington Post, fast food restaurants in middle and lower income areas tend to direct their advertisements more often towards children than those in higher income areas. By targeting children with this advertising, fast food companies are able to capitalize off of the vulnerability that much of the working class is faced with. Because fast food is available so widely, while healthier alternatives tend to be more expensive, this limits the lower income to more often consume nutritionally inferior food. Now, this is all well and good to be aware of these products, but it's not enough to simply avoid the market. There are some easy signs to look for when it comes to balancing our diets. For instance, according to a study published by PubMed, eating a low-carb diet is an effective way to lose weight, decrease fat, and improve cholesterol levels. But first we must educate ourselves as to what foods contain these various amounts of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates in the first place. Now, this information is required by law to be on the product itself, making it easier for us to gauge the nutritional value of products from stores and restaurants all the same. Now, there are some lifestyle changes we can implement that can get us back on track with our health. One of which is to reevaluate our spending habits. This, because unhealthy food is easier to afford, we tend to purchase more of it, more than we reasonably need. By cutting back on our purchases, we often find that there is room to develop healthier spending habits that in turn result in more reasonable portions to consume. Another change we can make would be to consume more whole foods and less processed foods. While this step requires considerably more effort to maintain, it can be made possible. by preparing food in bulk ahead of time for multiple meals. Now, it is understandable that most people would be unwilling to give up going out to eat forever. Even then, there are still some healthier alternatives that we can make when dining out in restaurants. One last change would to only order what we can consume in one sitting. Many times we find that meals in restaurants are just too large, consisting of too many courses. Bread after soup, after entree, after extra side. It's all simply too much. David Zinchenko, an author for Today, notably remarks, Olive Garden offers unlimited breadsticks, which cost you 150 calories apiece. Unlimited salad, 350 calories per bowl. And their latest campaign, Never Ending Pasta Bowl. Now just think of it. A couple breadsticks, a bowl of salad, a couple bowls of noodles, and you're facing 2,500 calories from just one sitting. By simply slowing down and regulating our portions, healthier alternatives become all the more affordable. Now, at the end of the day, the mass production food industry maintains its right to exist and to advertise, and the burden falls on us to take responsibility with our health. As said in Proverbs 25:16, if you have found honey, eat only enough for you. From this verse, we can clearly see the standard set for us. Ultimately, we must seek to equip ourselves with the knowledge of how to take care of our bodies and practice these habits daily.